Just exactly what I need tonight. With the lively music and chatter slipping out, mostly unseen, becomes a piece of cake. Without much trouble, soon enough, I find myself standing outside under the chilly Luxembourg night. I guess the wind picks up shortly after I step out, carrying the telltale smell of an impending rain. I'll give it about an hour or two before it starts. From the looks of it, tonight will be another downpour, maybe even stronger than the one we've had this morning. On instinct, I hunch further into my jacket, hugging its thick material closer to my body while I wave my way through the lines of empty cars in the parking lot. The letter crinkles in my pocket with each step I take, though I pay no mind as I hurry towards my car. That's interesting. Because that story update thingy, I suppose that happens based off of previous decisions. So could he not have taken the letter with him in another timeline? Or I mean, if I made some different decisions? That's interesting. To me, anyway. Or maybe the text would have been something like, we pay no mind, or as we hurry towards my car. That could have been the thing, I guess. Because I didn't manage to get anybody with me, what the hell? Wait. No. That's sad. Maybe Rebecca even. I don't know. I feel like I am just going to destroy everything, honestly, because of Rebecca and Luke and Marianne. Can we please save her now? That would be great, but I'm not going to expect anything. I've nicked it minutes ago from Isabel's belongings on my way out. If this is all connected, I need this damn piece of paper with me. However ridiculous as it sounds, I'm quite sure it won't be missed either. But I can't waste time here and wait for her to find out, can I? 4 hours is all I'm giving myself to get this done. Free, if I'm inclined to go by the rules Seaman set, but when have I ever? Regardless of how generous that is, each second's just as important as the next. Oh gosh, I am so going to die. So I hurry, one footstep over the other, echoing as I make a beeline for my car. Beeline, yeah. But as with every plan, problems crop up at the last second. It's practically a universal rule. And it does, in the form of a lone figure waiting for me next to my car. Oh. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay. Rebecca turns just as I near. The corners of her mouth twitching up in a wry smile. She offers no greeting except for a slight tilt of her head. Even as my pace slows and I look at her with all the unvoiced questions in my eyes, she remains wordless, merely throwing her head back and shifting her attention up at the starless sky. Dude, what are you talking about? Look at this. What? Anyway, when I come up to stand beside her, another gust of wind blows as she breathes out a sigh, very thick with something close to resignation. The breeze carries all of it away, while she hugs her arms closer to herself to keep warm, which raises the question why she's out here. The air's already heavy with the promise of rain. With clouds obscuring the view, there's really nothing left to look at but a dark blanket of nothingness. Still, she stands here as if she's intentionally waiting for everything to fall. That or she's here for some other reason. But before I can voice a single word, express a disapproval of any kind, she raises a halting hand at me, sharply cutting off the rest of my question.
I'm not here to stop you. Wherever it is you're planning to go off tonight, I won't be able to anyway. You look like you've already made up your mind.
Go back inside. It's going to rain soon. It'll probably be even heavier than the downpour we had this morning. You wouldn't want to be caught in it.
I will, in a moment. I just want to stay out here a bit for some air, away from the noise inside. Everything's been so chaotic these days. This little break is nice, even if it means standing in the middle of a parking lot, of all places. Getting out of this mess would definitely be better, but hey, you take what you can get, right?
It'll be over soon.
We'll survive, even if I was super negative just a few seconds ago. We'll deal. I'm sure. I guess. No, let's be confident, right? The confidence in my own words surprises even me. How do I know? Why am I so sure? When in truth, what I'm about to do is a last-ditch effort. If this fails, if I don't find anything, we're back to square one. It's the last lead I have. After this, we have nothing else to go off from. Regardless, it seems to amuse her, and her laughter soon sounds above the murmur of the distant traffic and the light draft sweeping around us.
How I wish. I'll be content as long as she stops showing up in my mind whenever I close my eyes.
I think that may take some time. The brain doesn't easily forget trauma.
I can try, but you know, it also did a lot to us.
Tell me about it. The back of my head's still smarting from my fall last night.
Not that kind. I'm talking about us, as people. I hate to admit it, but this whole deal with the ghost, with the curse, it also brought out an ugly side to us, to all of us, and it made me realize plenty of things about myself, about us.
Rebecca trails off. Suddenly, a pensive expression spreads across her face. I've seen it countless of times before, and every time I see it on her, it's usually followed by a memory, a silly story, or even something embarrassing I've said from childhood. Unlike me, who will much rather forget, she remembers each of them so easily. And after a short bout of silence, when she smiles, I know this is one of those times again.
Do you remember that one time, back in secondary?
Which one? We did a lot of dumb things back then. Well, I did, but you get the point.
Mandy.
I thought you still don't like her. Don't tell me you've kept in contact with her. Are you guys friends now or something?
Oh no. We do see each other sometimes. On the way to work or when I go out for lunch, but it's nothing like that. We're not friends. Not in this lifetime. I don't think so. I don't think we'll ever get along, but if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be friends, yeah? You stood up for me that day. And from then on, things have changed.
She makes it sound like I'm some sort of a hero. Manny was in the wrong. Of course, I'll defend her. If no one's going to stand up for her, who else would? Chances are it would have escalated, and who knows? Maybe she would have stopped going to school or transferred. Any decent human being with an ounce of sense should know better. I acted because I know what I'm doing is what's right. It's as simple as that. Yet she smiles as if it's worth more than that. A fondness that goes beyond nostalgia.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is, this time, I don't want this to go unsaid. You know, just in case something happens. Ash, I've always been in love with you.
Oh! She says it so plainly, holding my gaze and in a voice too frank, her admission stuns me to silence. Like the wind has suddenly been knocked out of me in one fell swoop. No words will form, not even a single coherent thought, as the meaning of her words bear down on me. Nevertheless, she continues to express everything she has kept to herself all these years. This is what the fondness is. Why, for her, it weighs heavier than any feelings of nostalgia can carry.
Since that time in secondary, since I made that promise to never leave, I've always truly loved you.
Afterwards, there is relief, a weight suddenly being lifted from her shoulders after so long. She closes her eyes and lets out a breath. Well, it's good for her for telling him. When she looks back to me, though, there is nothing but hope in them. Eyes that are searching for an answer. Facing the sincerity behind her words, I find myself grasping, scrambling for the words. Oh, because as much as this pains me to admit, I can't give her the same affections she's asking from me. So they could have gotten together? Maybe? Oh, this is going to be painful. We might have spent so many years alongside each other. Hell, we practically grew up together. But that never automatically meant that I will ever hold her feelings that goes beyond the boundaries of friendship. I do appreciate her presence in my life. I'm more than glad that she has stuck with me even through the toughest moments, even when she finds me difficult or aggravating. However, it's really all there is to it. She's a close, important friend to me, but nothing more.
Rebecca, I
draw in a brief breath. Great. Ragged, unsure. Uncertain how and which words to put together so it will hurt her less. So the wounds they might leave won't be as deep or scar. Though, before I can even string two phrases together, she lifts a hand to my mouth and silences me. A smile's on her face, kinder than every single one I've seen from her so far. It's nice to see it on her. It suits her more than the glares or the frowns. But at the same time, it only serves to baffle me. You don't have to answer me.
Yeah, but I should.
No, I mean, you don't need to.
Okay, now I'm really confused. One moment you're saying you've been in love with me since secondary, now you're telling me to shut up?
If you want to interpret it like that, all right.
No, really. Some explanation would be nice, Becca, because a lot of things are going on right now, and I'm afraid I can't catch up. Especially with this curveball you just threw.
It means what it means, Ashton. You don't need to answer me. I don't really need to hear it anymore. It's not that I don't want to. Believe me, if I were the same person I was before this whole thing happened to us, I'd be elated, excited even. But like I said, I also realized some things. Understood myself more. Ash, I did love you.
Oh.
Ever since we were kids, all those times you defended me from bullies. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, even after this. But at the end of the day, once you take a closer look at everything, it also turned me into a really selfish person.
But I sort of feel like her realization or her moving on wouldn't have happened if she didn't became closer to Luke, because he was the first. It wasn't. I mean, he was the one who opened her up to what she is realizing right now. So I just hope that I didn't do anything bad by befriending him for her sake.
When you think about it, maybe the Ashton I loved isn't the one standing in front of me right now. Maybe all this time, I'm still clinging on to that aloof kid I met 17 years ago. I didn't even consider that you have a mind of your own. That one day, it won't just be the two of us, that you'll find someone else and it won't be me.
I'm sorry, Becca.
I'm not even sure what I'm apologizing for. That I can't return her feelings? Or because I'm somehow holding myself responsible for this? Even if up until now, I had no idea about how she felt. Regardless, she continues to smile through all of it.
It's not your fault. Don't say that. I'm the one who should apologize. Since I suddenly sprung this up on you when you have other things to do, I just thought I should let you know. So I can finally let this whole thing go. One question though. Are you going to tell her?
Tell what to who?
Oops. That was a very obvious laugh. I paused, frowning, a brief moment of doubt, while I tried to figure out what she's talking about all of a sudden. When it finally sinks in, though, my bewilderment hastily gives way to utter embarrassment.
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh, shit.
Heat abruptly crawls up my face. No matter my efforts to keep it down, in the end, I can only look away from her, afraid of what else she will see in it.
Did you really think no one would notice?
Was it that obvious?
It was surprisingly easy to tell. But that was probably because I've known you longer than anyone.
Fuck, who else knows?
I think Zach suspects.
Shit.
Dude, it's fine.
You're embarrassingly lame when you're trying too hard. It's almost painful to watch. Don't worry. With your terrible way of flirting and knowing her, I'm quite sure Belle has no idea, even now. Not even a clue.
That smirk on her face right now, jeez, she looks a little bit scary.
Harsh, Rebecca. Really harsh. I could use a vote of confidence, you know.
She laughs, loud, the kind that's free of any burden, ringing above the wind slowly picking up as the stormy clouds approach. With it, however, the awkward atmosphere lifts at last. Phew, there's only that camaraderie we've shared since meeting in that classroom 17 years ago.
I'm serious, though. Tell her, and if you ever make her cry, I'll hit you with every damn history book I have on my shelf. Clear?
Noted, ma'am.
Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. I won't keep you long. I know you have things to do. Just promise me you'll be careful, all right?
She doesn't wait for an answer. Instead, she gives me a push with a force only heavy enough to throw me off balance. Caught unawares by the gesture. For a few moments, I fight for purchase against my car's trunk, bracing my hand on its smooth surface. When I look up with a string of reprimands ready at the tip of my tongue, Rebecca's already halfway through the parking lot. There's a small skip in her steps, while the breeze carries the light tune she's whistling. On a whim, I let its notes be the last thing I commit to memory before slipping inside my car and driving off. It sounds like a new beginning, more than anything. Another reason to be optimistic. Alright. Oops. Ashton left for the mansion at nightfall, but when he got to his car, he found Rebecca waiting for him. Fearing she might not have the chance, Rebecca confessed her feelings. But before he could answer, Rebecca stopped him, admitted she had been selfish and she was letting him go. She only wanted him to know. But I mean, I don't... Oh, okay. I'm just curious if they could get together. I'm a bit curious about that. But, yeah. I guess it just sort of feels more natural with him and Belle. Within 10 minutes, I'm driving out of Luxbourne and heading straight for Anselm Village. In the distance, flashes of lightning light up by the horizon, white and sharp against the black curtain of the night. Thunder threatens with a rumble, seconds later echoing along across the sky. I will one last roar, the skies open in earnest. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this. I'm so nervous. Because I don't want to kill him. The rain falling fast, steady sheets, creating shallow puddles on the dirt path, drenching everything the eyes can reach. Despite having grown up in this city, I still despised the rain. Despised. Living here doesn't mean I have to like it. Lucky me, I've reached the mansion before the downpours turned torrential. I love the rain, by the way. The long slog from Anslem village by foot has already been made difficult by the light drizzle and biting winds buffeting against my body every few seconds. By the time I have found cover under the trees lining the vicinity of the mansion, my shoulders are already drenched. My hair is also sticking against my skin and out in every possible direction. Thankfully, the letter, taser, and gun I brought with me has remained relatively dry. That's the most important thing. However, those are the least of my problems at the moment. Sometime after the housewarming party, scumbag, Bright, had suddenly grown a brain and tightened the security around the mansion. A guard is now stationed in every possible point of entry. The main entryway, the back door leading to the kitchens. Hell, it's almost a miracle no one has spotted me once I entered the property, although that's probably because I kept close to the forest. While I can always create a clever way in for myself under this lodge, it'll be difficult to do so without making much noise or leaving tracks.
I don't really have the luxury either, do I?
Considering how off this place feels since I've stepped in the property and the mansion came into view, every light is off. Even with the security personnel on patrol outside the whole house itself, it feels empty, eerie, too quiet. Normally, oh right, what's her face? Jeez, Hana, she is not in the mansion right now. She left. She's where did she say that she was going to stay? The old house? I don't remember. Which day could have it been? No, not this day, right? Oh, maybe. Let's see. No. Here. Moving back, to her penthouse. For a couple of days. Oh, a couple of days. She might be back. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, because, a couple of days. And it's now the night of November the 1st. We'll see. She might be back, but, since the house is so dark, we'll just have to see. Normally, I'll pass it off as some kind of power outage because of the storm. It's not a far off conclusion when this place is almost in the middle of nowhere. However, something just feels wrong.
Something happened here.
Yeah, with Marianne. Marianne, right? Marianne, yeah. Or is about to. That's the sole reason why I haven't done anything yet. Simply observing, watching, listening, for anything. I might be pressed for time, but I'm not a careless idiot. Although I need a way in, desperately so, moving without thinking will not only endanger me. With so many unknown variables and what we're dealing with, I also have to act on the assumption that someone is always in danger, especially in this place. I can't act impetuously. As much as I hate the rights, I'm not about to cause his death. Oh, okay, so it's just him, okay. As much as I hate Wright, I'm not about to cause his death because of one thoughtless action. If there's a place he deserves to be at, it's in prison, not a morgue. Oh, great. Soon a hoarse, painful sob suddenly rings out above the loud pitter-patter of rain. Only then do I stir. A woman, perhaps a servant? Or worse, Hannah Wright. It's coming from the forest? Just right up ahead, in fact. Not too far from the house. Regardless, I give the place a quick, wary glance before following the noise. No! I don't get to choose. Oh my gosh, am I gonna kill him? Have I killed him off based of a choice I did in the past? I don't want to do this. No, game, why are you doing this to me? No, don't kill Ash. He hasn't confessed his feelings yet for Isabella. To Isabella. Carefully keeping to the shadows, one cautious step after another. Louder and louder it goes as I near. No, 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 no. Damn it, why are you a detective, a curious detective? Until it abruptly turns into a loud, desperate, anguished cry. I break into a run. One nervous hand ready on the gun holstered at my hip, and the other raised for balance as I scurry across the dense understory. Dead leaves crunch under my shoes, but I paid no mind. There's only the voice, the woman, and nothing. Abruptly, it all stops, and I am met with a sudden hush. Blank. Empty. Almost defeating in its stillness. Even my labored breathing and pounding heartbeats against my ears. Behind me, another branch breaks, and...
Help me.
Dread surges within me while I spin around and take a hard step back, ignoring the chilly pinpricks crawling at the back of my neck. But before I can even meet her eyes, the word unexpectedly pitches sideways, tilting till the ground beneath me finally crumbles. My hands fight for purchase, only to meet air. By then, it's too late. No!
Ah!
My foot... You shouldn't have gone alone. Why? Oh, I've killed him off, haven't I? My foot slips further, and the rest of my body follows. Dark spots blur the edges of my vision. Black tendrils twist and coil around my limbs. Soft footfalls echo from the far distance, scurrying, scampering, moving in an odd rhythm with the sharp, piercing notes of her laughter. But more than that are the voices, placing venom inside every crease in my head. Murmurs that jeer, scoff, and deride. Over. It's because you didn't listen. And over. It's all your fault. And over again. Why won't you believe me? Those are Isabella's words. A reminder of what I've failed to do and of who I've failed. I'm trying to desperately fix. A scream threatens to burst, but my throat closes off. Ever so slowly, a chill seeps into every nerve in my body, washing away every sensation in me apart from one. There is only fear. Once again, her laughter echoes. A sound both bitter and unforgiving. It is the last thing I hear before she reaches for me. The ground trembles. The world slows to a stop. Oh great. Okay, you're not dead, but now you're trapped with Marianne. Great. Fucking great. The storm had started in earnest when Ashton arrived at the mansion. While trying to find a way in, the detective noted the eerie silence that had enveloped the place. Something was wrong inside, but before he could figure it out, the subsequent woman suddenly echoed. What? This is not how it's supposed to end? No. Could I have prevented this? I hope not, because I wouldn't be satisfied with that.